All right, Bills Mafia, you know we got to talk about it. First preseason game officially in the books for our Buffalo Bills. Obviously we took the L 33-6 to the Chicago Bears, but we're gonna talk about that thing, man. Don't forget to hit that like button real quick on the front end and subscribe if you are new to the channel. First off, I'd just like to start by saying, man, it felt good to be watching some Bills football, man. Nothing like Orchard Park, man. Seeing Bills Mafia out there, man. The fan base always shows up preseason, regular season. It does not matter when there's football being played in the 716, man. We know the Mafia is gonna show up, so salute that, man. Starting out, start with Josh. You know, I'm a big Josh Allen fan over here, man. Played a little bit over 2 series. Was clean, made good decisions with the football. It was funny, man. He showed his legs for that one play, get the first down. All right, it's time to go. Sit down. You tripping. All right, we ain't got time for you to be acting like this is a real game. But shout out to Josh, man. I thought that he was clean with his operation. I thought that got the ball out of his hand on time, man. You know, looking like how he always looks. I thought the offensive line, that first unit specifically, I thought they looked really good pass protecting. I thought run block, we got to be a little bit better, man. Didn't get enough push on the interior part of the offense line. I could see, you know, that kind of caused James Cook to not be able to do what he typically does. But part of that too is by design, man. We're running plays out of the gun. It's not like we're trying to do a lot of what we were are going to potentially see, or look more like how it did at the end of last season. So like I said, man, part of that's the vanilla part or element of it being the preseason. But I did feel that in terms of the receivers though, man, I thought that Curtis Samuel, I thought he looked really good out there. I'm excited to see the emergence of him and him building his rapport with Josh. Obviously, Khalil looked good. I mean, that's the most tenured wide receiver we have right now in terms of his tenure up here in Buffalo, man. So salute to Khalil. But I definitely thought that Khalil and Curtis Samuel, I think that they're going to be some nice assets to Josh, man. Keon Coleman, it was good to see the rookie out there. You know, had his one catch, 8 yards. They tried to get him involved in the goal line area. Obviously, him and Mitch couldn't get on the same page, but it was good to see Keon, man. I feel like with him, man, sky's the limit. He just has to keep getting reps, man. Eventually, him and Josh can get on the same page, and we'll start seeing more of that. And I do anticipate a uptick in terms of the intentions between those two guys getting routes and trying to see stuff in stadium, because we know Josh didn't even target Keon when he was out there with him. But I do anticipate that probably changing next week when obviously the Bills come down to Pittsburgh and play the Steelers. But some other dudes that kind of stood out to me though, man. Terrell Bernard. It's good to see him. We obviously know him and Dorian Williams got the start. No Matt Milano. Matt's good, but we ain't about to play him out in this preseason, man. We know he's still recovering from something crazy. But I thought that Terrell, thought that he looked really good out there. Flew around, got downhill versus the run. Obviously, when we talk about Dorian, he played a little bit longer, played pretty much the whole first half. Thought that he looked good, man. We obviously know last year, man, he kind of got catapulted into action due to some of the injuries, but I thought that he made some plays last year, and it looked like he was a lot more comfortable out there this go around, man. So that was also good to see. Gregory Rousseau, aka Groot, still looked good, man. Provided some pressure, obviously drew the holding penalty early on in the game, man. I'm excited to see him with the combination of a healthy Von Miller. We didn't have healthy Von last year. All reports, including him, are saying that, this is the best he's felt, in the past couple of years. So I'm really excited to see what that looks like. Obviously, we know AJ still over there doing his thing as well. So, like I said, for me, man, I thought that Gregory looked good, though, man. The other guy that kind of stood out to me from a defensive standpoint, though, Kaiir Elam. We obviously know, man, former first rounder, came under fire a little bit when he was with Leslie Frazier. Then we saw last year he kind of, had a little bit of a resurgence, man. Made some plays down the stretch, obviously in the postseason, getting a turnover as well. I thought that he played really well, man. Not just in coverage, but also in run support. We know that this is a dude that when we drafted him, we had high expectations because of the athleticism and the physical traits that he provides. But it was more of a consistency issue with him. Well, I felt like, today, man, it was another step in the right direction. He's been having a heck of a training camp from all the reports that I've been reading and talking to people about. So for me, I definitely like the fact that Kaiir was looking like that, because we're going to need him. And that's the one thing that holds true, man. We know Rasul, man, he's doing his thing on the other end, but Kaiir, man, if you could do it, man, come on. Sky's the limit, because you got the athleticism, baby. But I would like to say this too, though. In terms of how the defense looked, there were some parts where I thought our interior D-line looked really good, but then at the same time, man, I thought Chicago was one of the line of scrimmage in terms of their ability to run the football and their ability to take advantage of some of our miscues, because we unfortunately did have some of that. it looked like it was our first preseason game. And that's the unfortunate part, but also the good thing about it. It was just the first preseason game. We know Chicago had already been in the stadium before, and they looked a little bit more comfortable from my perspective. But I do feel like the operations that we were seeing offensively and defensively in spurts from us were fine. But the difference is, the execution, man, especially when you start subbing guys out, getting into the twos and the threes, that's where the game could get a little bit out of hand. We obviously know we had a pick six that took place in the game as well, man. So whenever you're starting to do that type of stuff, man, yeah, it can get a little bit like how the score reflected, 33-6, man. So you definitely aren't a fan of that part. But as a whole, man, a couple of other dudes that I thought played well today, man. Shout out to Ray Davis, the rookie running back, obviously out of Kentucky, and also Frank Gore Jr. Dude, it was good seeing both of those guys out there running the rock. I thought late into the game, man, you could see those guys really starting to have a lot more success. And Frank Gore Jr. specifically, man, I swear I thought I was watching his daddy. It was crazy. I'm just like, bro, you look just like your dad. You run like him. You got the number like him. You got the jersey like him. And then they showed the camera on his face. I'm like, bruh, if y'all aren't twins, you just got the hair. But man, it was good to see those dudes though, man. I thought Ray Davis and Frank Gore Jr. both had a lot more success in terms of running the football late in the game. And I thought that it was cool to see those dudes out there, just getting a little bit more acclimated, man, and showing that we do have a little bit more in that depth room versus just James Cook, who we know, man. James Cook is all world, and we can't wait to see what he does this season. But it was good to see, like I said, Ray Davis and Frank Gore Jr. making some plays. So, like I said, those are the guys that kind of stood out to me in today's game. I thought Mitch at times played well. We obviously know he led that, was it 16, 17 play drive. We ended up getting the field goal on, couldn't punch it in. But I thought he had some moments, man. He obviously had some missed throws as well, man. A couple touchdown opportunities that he left out there. But it was clean, But as a whole, man, y'all let me know your thoughts on this preseason game, 33-6. We taking the L to Caleb Williams. Oh my God, it's Caleb. Shout out to Caleb too, man. I thought Caleb looked straight. I know, he's with the opposition and all that, but first NFL game, we know he was the first overall pick. All world's been talked about like crazy. I thought that Caleb looked good, man. I thought he had some good decision making, and it was interesting to see how Chicago kept, utilizing his pocket movement to protect him. A little bit of respect to our D-line because we get after it up front, man. But like I said, you guys let me know your thoughts, though, on the matchup, man. Who stood out to you, man? And what you liked and what you didn't like. Like I said, first preseason game was the first opportunity to see the 2024 version of the Buffalo Bills in a stadium. But either way, I appreciate you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, just remember this one thing. Don't nobody circle the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.